Hey guys, we are back and it's Thursday and the election, nobody knows who won still the election and it's getting crazier and crazier. Uh, it, I think what will happen with all this is um, the laws and things like that will come down to each state and each county by judges. Um, And I think a lot of the power that the president does have will be stripped. And so we'll have a president, but it really has no meaning. So, but that's just because I saw a judge, I saw like judges ruling over. So that's what I'm coming up with, and not really seeing a president very active. So, whatever happens, and these four hidden dynasties have really got into our political system. You've got all these agencies that shouldn't be there, but are. You've got the CIA, the IRS, and all these, things that shouldn't be there. And then you have a lot of people that have been pumped in by the DNC and their political type of ways of maneuvering and gotten into our local and state governments to take over in counties. And this is why when the war begins, you want to know what the county per se, is it blue or is it red? Because like in my state, the big cities like Portland and Salem and places like that they need the votes, the count to change laws and things like that. They put people in there that will vote the right way to, change our system. And we're watching our system erode very quickly. And this is not good. We are at this stage right now where they're destabilizing. Hi, JD, and everyone in here. But we're seeing the destabilization of our country right now. And you just got to know it could happen very quickly, or but it will be kicked off with that earthquake. So that's the real big sign. But just watch your state and county, what area is blue and what is red, because it's going to really define which side you're on. And it's terrible to think that way, but it's true. And my gosh, I can't even believe what's happening. Hi, Kim. And Mind for Knowledge. And Mary. And Oystein. So, yeah. And also, I got some new information about Chapter 7. I don't think I'm going to really go into it right now. Just check it out. So we might be going back over 7 and 8 just to see, how well what I find out about it. I don't know. We can all look at it and say, hey, is this or is this not? I'm going by what I was taught. So it might be different. I don't know. So, hi, Mind for Knowledge. I get everybody. Okay, so here we go. This is Daniel chapter 8. And Daniel's about 87 years old. And this dream that he had is after the first dream that he had in chapter 7. So, but also this is where the Hebrew writing begins. So it's like getting out of Babylon and kind of concerning more of Israel and, you know, just getting out of that and towards the end times. So it is kind of interesting how the languages change, but there is meaning behind everything. So, you know, if you have a vision or something, look at the details too. Look at everything because everything has meaning in it. Let's see. Hi, Daniel. And Roxanne isn't going to be here. She's doing the funeral things, so keep her in your prayers. It's kind of a hard time in life, you know. All right, so here we go. Chapter 8, verse 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me, Daniel, after that which appeared unto me at first. So this chapter 7, so this is after. And I saw in a vision, and it came to pass when I saw that I was at Shushan, this is a city in Persia, in the palace which is in the province of Elam. And I saw in a vision, and I was by the river of Ulai. Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. Okay, so this is the 2 kings in Babylon. This is the first one was Darius, and then you had Cyrus. I saw the ram pushing westward. Oh, wait. Okay. I saw the ram pushing westward and north and south, so that no beast might stand before him. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand, but he did according to his will and became great. So at this point, you know, kind of kept everything, you know, they had that they were able to keep things, you know, under their control. And as I was considering, behold, a he-goat, the he-goat stands for Greece, came from the west on the face of the whole earth and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. So this is Alexander the Great coming in. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, so over to the Medo-Persia, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in a fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler or bile or, you know, bitterness against him, and smote the ram and brake his 2 horns, and there was no power in the ram to stand before him. But he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of the hand. So that was the power, Alexander coming in and just taking over. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken in pieces. You know, it eventually, I think he had like 13 years, and, you know, eventually it was, you know, broken. And for it came up 4 notable ones towards the 4 winds of heaven. Every time you see the 4 winds, know that this is relating to the end times and Christ's return. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great toward the south, that's Egypt, and towards the east, that's Persia and Babylon, and toward the pleasant land, that's Israel. This little horn is the Antichrist. You know how he comes up out of the sea, with that political system, building it up, and then, the peace treaty, and then he declares himself as God. Verse 10, and it waxed great, even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them, upon the people. I mean, the time of the Gentiles, we're in that now. But when this Antichrist comes, it's over the whole world. Yea, he magnified himself to the Prince of the host, to Yeshua himself, to God, saying he is God. And by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. So with Christ, when he died, the daily sacrifice was taken away. He was the sacrifice, so it's our love. Satan's coming in saying that he is Christ, so he's going to want our love and worship. And so the thing is can you tell the difference? And a host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. So it was basically, the truth taken away, and in it was this deceitful, evil angel calling himself God, and anything of truth was just cast away. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation? That's Satan sitting in Jerusalem claiming to be God. He is the desolator, to give both the sanctuary and to the host to be trodden underfoot. So he's asking, how long is this going to be? And he said unto me, unto 2,060 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. So the last time that it was cleansed was back in Joshua. They're getting everything set back up, and God said, look, this is the last time I'm going to do it until I return again. And so this is when the last time it will be cleansed. All this defilement and everything like that is, all evil elements and things like that on the great white throne judgment will be cast into the fire. So all this evil, crooked, Satan himself destroyed. And it came to pass when even I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Ulai, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision. So this vision is being interpreted by Gabriel through God. So he's just doing what God is commanding him to say and do. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, understand, O Son of Man, for at the time of the end shall be the vision. So this is for the end timers. The parable of the fig tree has already begun in 1948 when Israel became a state. But then you have the good figs and the bad figs both on the mount. And, it will be cleared off on Christ's return. But this is the time of the Gentiles trotting down. Now as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face toward the ground. But he touched me and set me upright. So when you talk to God, he expects you to stand up and be a man, don't be fearful. have reverence, but, you know, stand at attention. And he said, behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of indignation, for at the time appointed the end shall be. Indignation is God's wrath coming down on this evil. The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia. So that was the Darius and Cyrus. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. So that was Alexander. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king, which is Alexander. Now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nations, but not in his power. Not in Alexander's power, but more of in this political system type thing. Not how Alexander took everything over, like by force. It's more through this political system. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. So this coming up out of the sea of people, and out of the midst of that, Satan is right there, but he gives power to all those kingdoms that are in there. And that's how they get their power. And then, we know that at that point, he fixes the deadly wound and he comes out saying he is Christ. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. He brings in prosperity and peace, and he does it all under this false pretense that he is God. And he fools the nations. And through his policy, this peace treaty, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, this is Satan, and by peace shall destroy many. So it's not when you hear war and rumors of war, it's when you hear peace and safety is when you gotta say, whoa, let's look at this. He shall also stand up against the Prince of Princes, against Yeshua. But he shall be broken without hand, because God's going to do it. We don't have to fight the battles. It's God. What is coming is a spiritual sense. Satan isn't coming in to kill your flesh body, to kill your spirit, to drag you off into hell with him, into the fiery pit. And the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick certain days after I rose up and did the king's business, and I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it. He understood it, but, to try to explain it to someone else, they didn't have the eyes or ears to hear. And just like now, the 7,000 have those eyes to see and the ears to hear. And so being able to understand the Bible is kind of like a coded message in a weird way. I'm going to go over Revelation chapter 13, because this basically talks how the New World Order comes up. Revelation 13, chapter 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast, this is the beast system, rise up out of the sea of people, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns. These are the 10 supernatural kings that Satan brings with him, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. It's because he's saying he's God, and all these people are believing it. Hi, April. Oh my gosh. That's so awesome. I'm glad you're here, April. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. And we kind of went over this yesterday, but this is the Kenites. This is the four hidden dynasties that they bring in the seed of Satan in. Um, these are the ones that get into other nations, like they're in our nation, they're in all these nations, to bring in the New World Order. And his feet were as the feet of a bear. This is Rush, Edom, the red nations. So you could consider it's a bear, and that is for Rush, but it could also include China or any other red nation. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. So looks like Judah. It looks like it. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So all this coming out from the sea of people, and Satan is right behind it. He's right giving them power because he is the prince of the air. He's able to influence people who don't have a good understanding of our own history or even understanding of the Bible and what's to come. So when they say peace and safety, these people are going to go, yeah, because all this chaotic things, we're going to have this war here, revolution in America, have all these strange events like the sow and the celestial crossing. People will be just so ripe to just want their lives back. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. This is the one of the four hidden dynasties that something happens. It could be financial, probably more than likely financial, whatever. But it's wounded to death. That's the cut across the forehead where the Islamic nations on the other side of the Euphrates fighting. So I believe that that it hits that nation because they don't want the peace, but Satan causes them to fight, and then he comes in and fixes it. And his deadly wound was healed because Satan came in and fixed it. And all the world wondered after the beast. This is the little horn coming out. He's getting ready. The people are prime. They're waiting. So they hear this peace and safety and prosperity. He comes in with prosperity. People are getting their homes back. They're getting, life seems really a lot better than what it was. Because believe me, when I say this, when things really kick off, you're not going to recognize America. You won't recognize the world because it's going to be so chaotic. And they worshiped the dragon. This is from Revelation chapter 12, where we saw that Satan had seven spirits or fallen angels that were with his kingdom at that time. And now he's given 10 supernatural kings to build this system, the last system, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? So this political system, how can anybody be able to fix, the Islamic Muslim nations to stop fighting? And he was able to do that. Who is able to make war with him? Nobody's going to, because it's all peace. And people are happy because guess what? They're given everything. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. So here he starts out. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. So the fact that, he's lying to everybody, and everybody, from a 7,000 point of view, you're going to get kind of sick, thinking, seeing that, and it's like there's nothing you can do. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, the God's elect, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. That whore that rides along the nations of the world. And everybody's following under one system. And those who aren't into it, the 7,000 very elect and the very elect out of the each nations, they're going to be delivered up, either to councils or synagogues of Satan or to Satan himself. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So you've been predestined. If your name is not in that, you're going to worship it. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. So, the sword of truth, God, that is your sword. So when you're delivered up, allow the Holy Spirit to speak through you. That's all you need to do. And that's just all you do. I mean, it's that simple. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, not from above, out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb. It looked like a lamb. And he spake as a dragon. This is the same dragon from chapter 12. And he's coming in to take that role as the Antichrist. And he exercises all the power of the first beast, that political system. He is in charge over that. And causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, work in that system, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders. This is how he tricks people. So that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And people are just going to go, wow. Because he is a supernatural being. He's going to be able to do all this stuff. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, in the political system, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. So you look at television, or you could have holograms, or however they're going to do it. I would think more likely having, through television and through media, things like that, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. This is the one world order. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So you're going to be delivered up. They're going to, you're not going to worship him. You're not going to work in it. And they'll know this political, this whole one world system will know that you're not going along with it, and you'll get caught. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, not on, in their right hand or in their foreheads. So in, it's not like a mark, it's more like the knowledge that you either don't have or you have. If you're working for that beast system, you're marked. If you're not, you're sealed. But it's just at that point, do you have enough oil to get through? And know better not to worship that. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So, you have to be in the system to be able to participate, plain and simple. Will your family help you out, if they're going along with it? I'm sure at this point, God will give you manna and food and a place to stay. I mean, you'll be fine. It's just, it's towards the end when you see that. Just know you're going to be delivered up soon. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, the man of perdition, and his number is 666. So it's 666, which is the sixth seal, sixth vial, sixth trump. That's when when you see the signs, that's he's coming on board, claiming to be God. So, it's not, once you get over the whole mystery of it, the fear is taken out, and we'll be taken care of regardless. As we see the system now slowly deteriorate, going into that one world order, you want to make preparations, is thinking about where are you going to go to ride out this war, this revolution that's coming. And it's becoming very evident now. Let's see. We do think he's an abomination. And another reason they're trying to get all the money gold for them, but we don't want it. We have Father who is able to make war with him. Yahweh's elect will make war with Satan when we're delivered up. Yep. My lamp is pretty full. I just want to keep learning and just make sure, Thou prepares a table for me in the presence of my enemy. Thou anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Yep. And it's true, after all is said and done, we're going to be sitting at that huge, long, long table with the white tablecloth and a setting just for you. And as you eat, your enemies are going to be kind of on the other side of they're going to be on the bad side, and they'll be able to see you and talk to you. But it's like they're jealous and they're angry. They're in that place for a reason. And you made it. You got through it. And Christ will be there, and he'll be like treating you like a best friend. I mean, it's all worth it. When I had been shown all this, I was just blown away. But the angels all around me kept saying, it's worth it. Just keep going. Do it. You can do it. You can do it. And like in really bad, hard times in my life, I had a band of angels all around me, consoling and giving me information I needed. So the same thing is for you too. We're not alone. There is a spiritual world all around us. We help them too. The enemies, well, if they come out, and if it's our family, I mean, I know my enemy, and it's somebody that I didn't even think it would be, but that's who I saw. A person from my mom's side, and I'm adopted, but someone from that side, and it's like, what? I don't know. It's just going to get weird. Just remember that this is not, except the revolution that's coming up now, that is definitely physical. Then you have the spiritual side, the spiritual end of it after, where the Pope comes in, kind of takes over, and you don't see the president. You don't, there's, it's basically under control of something else, this charter thing. And then you see the so, and then you see another physical, which is that celestial crossing. And then you see the spiritual and physical with Satan here himself with the 7,000 and those 10 supernatural kings. And it is going to go so fast, guys. It's going to start and end. It's going to be really quick. The only real bad time that you'll really notice is your 10-day, up to 10-day tribulation period, Jacob's time. And, I mean, your family is going to come up against you, your friends and family, delivering you up. But, if you can get through that, you can get through anything. Because I think the worst kind of pain is when your family kind of abandons you, and but like at this time now, just get set and ready. How long we have, I don't know. I don't, but there's a lot of personal benchmarks that I have that haven't happened yet. So I guess we'll just have to see, like around February, March of this coming year. That's all I can say. If things start happening in that time, then I'll be like, guys, watch out for that earthquake because it's coming. We help them. 244 will go. We help family. Yeah. The celestial cross and earthquakes are in September, then another year at least. Yeah. I saw that celestial object coming around spring though, so there's just, we still have a lot to go through, but right now we're seeing the decay of our country. We can do it with Yeshua as our comforter. Yep. Armageddon, Medigo, and Ham and Gog. So, it's just a bunch of weirdness. That's all I can say. Let's see, earthquake, September, celestial Passover. Yeah. It's just going to be crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, get whatever you need, have that mindset, because it isn't going to get any better. We've seen the best as it's going to get. It's just going to dissolve. And it's going to feel kind of like we've been abandoned by our country, because there won't be any real leadership. During that war, it's just kind of you're on your own, which is good. But then the Pope comes in and no, putting all the churches together as one again. See, in the early 1900s, they were all divided up by the Catholic Church to do this one specific thing, to confuse and control the narrative in these end times. All right, it's kind of hard to believe, but that's just how it's all going to turn out. And then during that war, and you're going to not really be able to get on the internet and things like that. So, there's going to be a lot of confusion and stuff. It's meant to be that way. So when the Pope comes in, it's like, we got everything under control. Just come with us. you know. But then when Satan comes, he's going to be like, no, there's no more church. It is me. And it's going to be crazy. Just like, and so many people are going to just, yeah, at least one more year. That's what I would think. Um, it's going to look, I mean, we're going to see the highs and lows during this period of time. And just this presidential thing, I kept seeing judges and kind of overrode the president. So I'm just thinking that like this justice, this new supreme justice, is going to be the one acting more like the president and giving the law, which is good in a sense, but it's like changing our policies and things. It's just you're going to see a lot of change. I don't know. And things will get more clarified as we move closer, but just get ready for this next year and prepare your mindset. Just thought, what if Biden steps down due to health issues? And right, oh, Harris, yeah, that could be very bad. But we're not being taken over by Russia or China or anybody else. We're being taken over by the DNC within. And like I said, they have been shipping people over here from other countries, getting into our politics, getting into key places within our county, down to local levels. So they've been doing this for a long time. And Jeshurun in Deuteronomy 32 became fat and waxed fat and partied and just didn't see it. So during these last days, it's not, Christ or God is going to give you individual, he's going to be watching you rather than the nations, he's going to protect you and his people too. So, as you see these nations fall and stuff, just remember he's still in control and he's watching you, especially so that you can get through it. So whatever happens, happens, but it may look bad, but then it's for the good, you know. Whatever happens, like Daniel in the lion's den, it's just, treacherous. But, Satan can't do anything like that anyway. He can't throw you into the furnace or anything like that because he just can't do that. I mean, he's coming in saying he is Christ. So he's bringing everybody in under love, this fake love. So if you can imagine that, two women running out country. Oh, two women running our country. Oh. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, if they're good, but if not, you get Harris and Pelosi. Oh, we're done. But then again, God is in control. And I saw, a basic kind of justice coming back. So whoever gets in there, whatever happens, will be good up until that earthquake. And after that, it's just like, nope. Time. It's over. Get ready, because Christ is returning. Let's see, the economy. Yeah, if you could get gold and silver or whatever to get through it, that's good. Whatever God is leading you to do. So, do what you can. Listen to the voice of God. What is He telling you? What unctions are you getting to do? And then just do it. And in the end, we'll all be sitting at that white table going, oh my gosh, can't believe that happened. Miracles right in front of your eyes. So, 21, 5, 20, 22, 6. Oh. Yep, it's going to be different for everyone. Just let God lead. Yeah, 5 grace, 6 man, 7 God, 8 completeness. Yeah. So, just get ready, guys, and just know, yeah, it looks kind of bad now, but there's still stability within this, society that we live right now. Still gonna be okay. It's just get that earthquake and boom. Yeah. So, just letting everybody talk in the chat. I don't know what you think about, the the whole presidential thing. I can't wait for 7 and 8 too. Oh my gosh. I want to get out of this flesh body. I just, it's so much better in the spirit. I mean, it's just like, but you know what? In the end of this, we'll probably laugh. It is a pain to take care of. Yeah, we just need to pray for a president, whoever he is, and that's what I believe. Yeah, because God he's a heart changer. He's a heart knower, and just like in Egypt as his Pharaoh and stuff like that. I mean, he hardened Pharaoh's heart to make an example of him, but it's true. Whoever gets in, pray for them, and it will go exactly how God wants it to go. So, it's going to look a lot different. Our society as we know it will change. And that's going to freak out a lot of people. But that's also going to make people want something that is more normal, So out of this chaos comes this savior. Yeah, it is going to get worse until it gets better. Right now, I mean, it'll be okay. You'll see ups and downs even after this election. Ups and downs until that earthquake. And when that hits, that's when you know the time of the end has begun. Boom. That's when the war happens. That's when the sow, and that's when that celestial crossing. And after the celestial crossing, you're going to see Satan coming out. So there's a lot of signs there. It's just waiting, though. I know that wait. People are freaked out already. They couldn't handle COVID. Now this election, they need to be read the book. Yeah, I doubt any of them would listen, though. It's all gravy. Just gotta go along for the ride. Yeah, that's about it. When Satan comes in Jerusalem, yep, he'll be like, I am Christ, I am God. There will be an earthquake. when he comes in. Well, everybody will think that is Christ. So the way that he comes in, people are going to believe it. He is a tricky, tricky guy. Twists things and just makes everything sound good. But like to the very elect, they'll hear that twist and go, no. And I saw the true Christ coming in and I saw Satan coming in. Whether it was an earthquake or what that came, there was just the sky opened and this giant Christ coming down. So it is nothing like the true Christ. I mean, but I had not seen the true Christ return, so I didn't know how to, evaluate that. So I thought it was. So I think that's how most unlearned will see it. Well, he came in the clouds, whether that is a supernatural thing or Project Bluebeam or whatever, people are going to believe it and they'll welcome him in. They'll put out this red carpet and he'll walk up to it. And, you know, um, of course, like with the beginning of this beast system rising out, some countries have to be plucked out, their leaders. Like we learned in Daniel, I mean, those are another signs. These 10 or these 3 kings from other countries. I mean, it could be Ephraim, but either way, there's going to be so much change, and everybody has to go along with it. So you won't have a choice. We're all going into captivity. Yeah. Well, we haven't even seen hardly any of the technology. And as far as getting into Jerusalem for us, whoever's delivered up over there, I saw a lot of people being delivered up all at one time there. It's like this push. Anyway, and it's probably because time is getting very near to Christ's return. But I didn't really see how I got there. April said that she saw like an airplane being in an airport, picking out like food that she was going to be eating. There's just, however we get over there, but we're not going to be liked too much. You're a traitor. Yep, the supernatural. So it's all on Satan and being able to do this, just like Elijah was able to do it. And just, he's given that power for that 1 hour to test you. And like Ezekiel, yep. Yeah, it is going to be so interesting. I hope April, I see you there. But you're way, way ahead of me. But you can do it. You got this. I was given the words background silhouette. I felt like it meant something we see in the sky. Background, yeah. There is some sort of, a grid system up there, with all, we don't even know what all is up there and what countries have what. So I'm sure there's a lot of weapons and things like that. But you know what? I would think that when this celestial body crosses over, it's going to knock a lot of that out. Watch out for falling satellites. Like, you don't have to worry about that thing. Now you have to worry about falling satellites. Maybe you UFO ride, man, don't care. Let's go. Let's get this done. Starlink. Yeah. And people will be so amazed. They'll just be amazed. Um, I wish I saw more of it. I saw more that I was like an outcast and people didn't like me and then I was just delivered up. So, however, and being chased by these people, like, I guess it's not really like chased, but watched. What are you doing? I am not worshiping your God, that's for sure. 5G Starlink. Elon Musk. Yeah. And there's just so much out there that we don't even know, with this technology. I'm sure, I'm like pretty positive that a lot of those UFOs that we see are our own. And as far as like the great aliens and stuff, I don't know. That deception is crazy. Yeah, April's had a lot of visions that started in 2012, and we've really been talking about them and looking at them as benchmarks and things like that. So I'm hoping that she has more. And you guys, just ask for them. Let's see, April moon. Oh, like April's. You can ask April, because some of them are kind of personal. And like for you, if you start getting visions and dreams, they'll more than likely be personal to you and your situation. But um, April and I talk about ours as benchmarks. Well, your thing is going to happen here, and mine's here around that time. So, as our group gets closer together and things like that, we can share them, if you're comfortable with it. Yeah, it is up to God, but and He gives it at a time when it is His time. I was given all this right before I turned 7, and that makes sense. 6 is man, and 7 into, the millennium. So, given that whole time until now to let it out. So, there's just a lot of different kinds of visions and dreams, and what God gives you. But I do know for a fact that you keep working at this. You keep studying, and you'll get your whatever your gift will be fine-tuned, and it will get so much stronger. So, and I would think that like the 7,000 really need to have the visions and dreams. I would think they would need to get that to get them through some parts. So I'm just kind of waiting. I'm like a little child asking all the time. If you don't mind want to share, it's all good too. I had some dreams, but not sure if I saw myself delivered up, just saw walking up steps. I saw April walking up those steps. She was very worn out and tired. She came back down the steps. She was very worn out. That's all I can say. And her husband and kids were waiting for her. Yeah. It's weird how April and I are kind of tied together. I was walking up sets too. Yeah. That's how it'll be. Just walking up, and then you just what I saw myself is just kind of just allowing the Holy Spirit to speak through me, even before I got to Satan. Like, boom, I just wanted to get it over with. So it's going to look weird when you see him, like, man, oh man. But when I saw him, I'm like, I could clearly tell that was not Christ. I mean, even though he kind of looked like him, it was like, this is such a fake. Just like, ooh, yeah, I know, when I'm done, I'm just like, gosh, just walk out that door. There's the steps, you go up, and then when you're up there, you get taken back down, and then you go to, let's see, I guess it would be to the right if you're facing it. That you go past, there's like this big type of open area, and then the 7,000 are along the side of the building. And there's like people standing around in that area as well, watching. And you'll be taken out to this, like a door, and out that door is like this court area. So April's husband and family are right in front of that door waiting for her. So she gets through it just fine. Everybody gets through it. I didn't see any problems at all. Just people just waiting, It's kind of a solemn moment when people are like, just the reality of the truth of Christ actually returning. We're almost there. Oh, Kim gets through it too. I saw Kim. I saw, a whole bunch of people. Everybody gets through it. Like I said, along for the ride. It's nice to know I just have to go through the motions and God does the rest. Yeah, that's the hard part. Don't get emotionally attached to anything. Just keep your eye on God and just keep going. I know for me, I'm going to have my heartstrings pulled a lot. I think that's how Satan really gets to me. And I just have to be like, no. I think I go near middle, not sure though. Well, it would be really, really cool if we all got on in the same time and went out, especially, in our group, Okay, guys, I gotta get going. My dog is about going crazy. He's been in his pen and he's gonna start whining. Check out information. Hi, Zoe. I haven't seen you in a long time. Okay, guys, come in tomorrow, and we'll talk more about things happening and stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless.